Today we're going to start the next project, which is a 1958 Fender Tweed Champ replica. We're going to cut some clear pine to length for the top, sides, and bottom, and then do some finger joining or box joining. I guess it depends on how thick your fingers are. Let's start the next project. To get the cabinet underway, I found some plans online. I'm going to use these as a base. I'm adding a ½ inch to the overall depth of the cabinet. Otherwise, the width and the height is going to remain the same. We're going to start by cutting a piece for the top. And I have my wood ready, and I want to make sure that the edge, one of the edges, is already square, and it is. This has been cut off recently. So for the top, I need 13.5 inches wide total, but I'm going to add a 1/16 of an inch so I have just a little proud on my finger joints. Good. So this piece is ready to be cut. The crosscut sled, I have my piece in place so I can cut it. This is for the bottom. I'm going to take and clamp it on the edge just so I know it's not going to slide around. This saw starts really hard. I don't want things to move, so I'm just going to put that on there. Make sure I don't have any interference. Again, eyes and ears on. Okay, we've got our 4 pieces cut, one for the top, one for the bottom, and 2 for the sides. So now we're going to cut them to depth, front to back, because right now our lumber is thicker than it needs to be. But you can already see the cabinet coming together. Setting up to cut the tops to depth. And here's a sample of what the box joints are going to look like now that we have all the sides cut. And here's the router jig that I've put together. It's kind of got a sliding fence and with a peg sticking out of it. And the sample that's off camera, there it is. Basically, you put a piece in and you drag it across the bit and it will cut a notch. And then you just advance it to where the notch you just cut fits over the peg, and you pull it through again and again and again. All of your box joints or finger joints, depending on the width of the joint, cut. And I've got my router hooked up to a foot switch, so I step on the foot switch and the router will spin up. That way I can keep my hands on the piece I'm working on, keep things basically held in place so I'm not reaching for a switch. And if anything would go wrong, all I have to do is step off it and the router will come to a stop. I'm using an upcut spiral bit, ½ inch cut. Since my router is upside down, it's actually a downcut bit in this use. Start gluing. Got some little extra glue on. Okay, I've got some water. I'm going to take and scrape off some of this excess glue before I try and wash it off. Because I do have plenty of glue in here, which is okay.